I want to tell you about a little place. Place called Gallifrey. Gallifrey, planet of dreams. You are so much more than you may see. Download Victorian, rest along glorious. Ooh, yeah.
So, Alice Evans, young woman, 23, English, born in 1989. January, if I'm not mistaken. 28th?
You can tell people's birthdays by smelling.
Me? No, I read it in your driver's license. Do you always leave your purse lying around? No, never mind. Now, to business. There are two things we must discuss, to matters of the utmost importance. One, where do you want to go? We can travel anywhere, any when. Take your pick. Two, would I look good in a hat?
If this is a time machine, does that mean we can go wherever we want, and my dad still won't miss me?
You betcha. Anyway, about the hat.
Time travel. Isn't that dangerous? What about paradoxes and the butterfly effect?
Oh, typical human. Say something magical and you have to rationalize it. You can't just be amazed, can you? Now, top hat?
I'm sorry, Doctor, but it would rather put a damper on our adventures if I go home to a society run by dinosaurs. Or Hitler. What if Hitler wins the war? Would I start speaking German when my DNA rewrite itself, or does this box thing protect me? I mean, I don't think I could stand it if we lived in a Nazi society. I have a Jewish uncle. What about him? Did you even think about that?
No, I think you may be, overreacting. Bowler! A bowler hat! That's what I need!
What is it with you and hats? Anyone would think you were the Mad Hatter.
Have you any idea why a raven is like a writing desk?
Funny.
Oh, Alice, sense of humour. Stop your worrying. When you're smiling, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. Now, bowler hat. I haven't got one in the wardrobe at the moment.
You have a wardrobe? Do you have vintage clothes?
Alice, I travel in time. I have clothes older than the Earth. Older than the solar system, in fact. In fact, I have a T-shirt from the ancient civilization of Clementine Fop. They invented ice cream once the human race was all single-celled and germing.
Can I see?
Well, that may not be such a bad idea, actually. I mean, you see, I need a bowler hat. And everyone knows the best bowlers are sold to Hopkins & Sons, London, Baker Street, 1897. Terence runs the shop. Great man, makes a mean curry. We are talking burn the colour from his eyes, spicy. Anyway, follow the corridor down to the end, turn right, left and right again, and then take the lift down to floor orange.
Orange?
Yeah, who named floors after numbers? Boring! Anyway, go to the lift, and it's the first door you come to. Find something Victorian. Oh, and, try to be ladylike.
What are you doing, Holmes?
Bored.
You're bored.
Bored. I am bored. What part of that fascinates your tiny brain? I don't know what's wrong with the criminal class this week. They're all being so well-behaved.
You're bored. And so your violin has to suffer for it?
This violin, Watson, has suffered more in its long life than a little dissonant instrumentation.
What about the case files Lestrade sent you?
The butler did it.
Of course. It's always the butler.
Actually, in my experience, it is rarely the butler. Honestly, Watson, life is not a stage play. If it were, the audience would have walked out by this point because it's so boring.
Aha.
Shh, shh. Ha! It's a 4-knock problem. Lestrade never knocks 4 times unless it's a big one.
And what makes you think it's Lestrade?
Watson, it is a simple matter of the pause between the first knock and the following group of 4 knocks. Only the inspector, with all his bravado and self-absorption, would hesitate in his second group of knocks, and so only the inspector it can be.
Elementary.
Indeed.
Inspector?
Dr. Watson, is Holmes at home?
Upstairs.
Very well. Holmes.
Inspector Lestrade, what have you got for me?
You've been summoned by...
The palace.
Probably best not to ask how he does know.
My dear Watson, it is simplicity itself. My eyes tell me that on the inside of the inspector's left shoe, just where the firelight strikes it, the leather is scratched in a rather noticeable fashion. Obviously, they have been caused by someone who has very carelessly scraped round the edges of the sole in order to remove crusted mud. A careless servant, perchance. Hence, you see, he must have been running in foul weather. Only the muddy, wet splash caused by such an action would create the levels of dirt necessary for our servant to produce such scratching. It was raining this morning, you may recall, Watson, which means the scuffs are relatively new, as a proud man like Lestrade would replace the shoe when he noticed they were scuffed, so he must not have yet had the opportunity to do so. The 4 knocks, coupled with the fact that he has resorted to calling for myself, tells me that this case is of great importance. Lestrade wouldn't rush over to see me with a scuffed shoe for just any case. No, far too irregular. The scuff, the mud, the rush, coupled with the aroma of jasmine and the faint smell of cannabis. Yes, he's been at the palace, all right. Buckingham, the gardens, most likely. What is it this time? A puppy gone missing?
Not exactly.
Someone creeped into the Queen's bedchamber, stole a chamber pot.
Somebody has stolen the Queen.
I'll get my coat. Dr. Watson, my coat. The game is afoot!
London, 1897, 4 p.m. Wait. No, 12 p.m. Well, almost. Close enough for jazz. What do you think?
Amazing. It smells terrible.
You think this is bad? Used to see the slums. Welcome to Victorian Britain, Alice. No smell like it.
Extra, read all about it. Queen goes missing in mysterious kidnapping.
Hello? Did you say the Queen has gone missing? In 1897? Today?
I'm not telling you. You'll have to buy a paper if you want the news.
Oh, give that a scamp. Here's a shilling.
Golly gee, thanks, sir.
Where'd you get Victorian money?
Psychic coins. They change their currency depending on the location and time period. Essential equipment for the time traveller.
Brilliant.
Let me see. This is not right. 1897, the Queen shouldn't... Why can't I just have one normal trip?
Did you just say the Queen? As in Queen Victoria?
No, Boudica. Who do you think? Of course it's Queen Victoria. Oh, Vicky, what have you got yourself into now?
Blimey.
All I wanted was a bowler hat. That's all. Right, let's go.
Where?
Where do you think? Buckingham Palace. By the time I paid them a visit.
Our dearest followers, we, the brain, have confined. Are you ready for your orders?
Yes, Frank. We are ready. We are one. We are ready. We are one.
The double chamber has been created, and the genuine article is in stasis, soon to be incinerated. A unit will follow her replacement to the surface, taking the role of the guard. We shall follow in the coming days, falling from orbit to claim this planet. The master's plan must be complete. The steps must be disallowed.
Praise the Master Plan. Praise the design. Praise. Praise.
Now, children, go and prepare yourselves. Tomorrow, we rise.
We rise.
We rise.
We rise.
We rise.
We rise. We rise. We rise. We rise.
And now, silence. The morning will come, and the sun will break.
Mr. London, sir. Mr. Holmes to see you?
No, splendid. Send him in.
Sir.
Splendid to see you, Mr. Holmes. I'm sure you're aware of our little problem.
Indeed. Splendid. Top hole.
Yes. Who is this?
This is Dr. Joan Watson, my associate.
Female doctor?
Oh, preposterous.
Oi, watch it!
I beg your pardon. The situation is rather tense at the moment, you see.
That's alright, just don't do it again.
Ma'am.
Now, the Queen.
Shh. We don't want the whole palace to find out, do we? It'll end up on the front page of some godforsaken
I
rag.
think it may be a tad late for that.
You mean?
The people know, Mr. London.
Oh dear God above, whatever shall we do?
Never fear, Holmes is here. Now, tell me everything. How did this start? When was the Queen last seen? And most importantly, what do you think happened?
Pardon, sir.
Think. You. What do?
No, forgive me, sir. It simply can't be true, you see.
When you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be true.
Very good, ma'am.
So, Frank, what do you think happened to Her Majesty?
She was taken. Foul play. There was this light which came from the sky and shone at the Queen's chambers. A blinding glow of light like the breath of God himself. And then, when the call for breakfast came the next morning, the Queen was gone. God has taken our Queen. Or, forgive me, sir, I would not dare.
Say what you must, don't leave it there.
Aliens, sir. Beings from another world, with ships that sail through the skies.
Fascinating.
Apologies, sir. I did not mean to be impertinent.
Not at all, Mr. London. Now, about this light. When it appeared, and I realize this is an odd question, but did it smell?
Well, now that you mention it, there was a certain odd aroma.
Yes?
Metal. Like a metallic kind of smell.
Teleport. Interesting. Right, that's all. Thank you. I might be back later. Toodaloo!
Goodbye, Mr. London.
Ma'am.
Doctor,
Alice?
how come he believed you were Sherlock Holmes?
Huh?
Sherlock Holmes. You told him you were Sherlock and I'm Watson. But, well, they're fictional.
Well, yes, they are.
You'd think they'd know that. Must be quite famous books even in 1997. So how come he didn't question it?
Very good question. Now, back to the... Shh. Alice, behind here.
What's going on?
You've already fooled one person. We might not be so lucky a second time.
Fair point.
Buckingham Palace. No place finer in design, and yet corrupt in spirit.
Now, Holmes, behave yourself. Just try to act
Normal.
precisely.
My dear Watson, everyone is unique in this world. The normal ones are, paradoxically, the most abnormal.
Holmes, Watson, shall we?
Indeed.
Lead the way, Inspector.
Well, I suppose that answers our question.
This is not right. Something's wrong.
Maybe the guy who wrote the books based them on a real person.
Arthur Conan Doyle? He did. Me.
Ah.
Yes, well, sort of. I mean, I met him once. Many years ago. I was investigating the case of the missing Big Ben in 1885 with Madame Vastra, the veiled detective, and her assistant Jenny. Strax bumped into Doyley, and I could hardly leave him after being confronted with an alien potato head. So we brought him along. Simple case in the end. Alien perception filter. Some harmless idiot from the Bambisquee galaxy had parked his ship right on top of the clock tower. Anyway, long story short, Vastra, Jenny, and myself were the inspiration for Holmes, Watson, and Lestrade.
And Strax?
Well, poor old Doyley never ate potato again. Poor fellow. Right, back to the TARDIS, methinks. Need to run some tests. See if there's any residual teleport energy left in this sector. And we definitely need to get to the bottom of this Sherlock Holmes business. Perhaps there's some sort of psychic pollen latching onto the people of London? No. Well, could be.
I don't even think you know what you're talking about most of the time.
I say words, Alice. There's always time to decide what they mean later. Right, off we go.
Sir?
Yes, what is it now, Blenkinsop? I'm very busy.
Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson to see you, sir.
Again? They just left.
Inspector Lestrade is with them, sir.
Lestrade? Good man. You'd better send them in. Again.
Sir? Come in.
Mr. London, I believe. How are you keeping? Sorry about the wife.
How did you... Who are you?
A slight reddening beneath the eyes. You've clearly been crying, coupled with the smell of gin and tobacco, equitable only to an alcoholic chain smoker. But then I'd say from your eyes, teeth and skin, you haven't done either for long. No, you've lost someone. The stress is getting to you. Add that to the mark of a missing ring on your left hand, clearly been recently removed, as I said. Sorry about the wife. And the name's Holmes. Sherlock Holmes.
Remarkable. Yes, Remarkable that you think I would fall for this codswallop. Blenkinsop, please remove this fool from my office. I have met with Sherlock Holmes earlier today, good sir, and I assure you that unless he has the ability to change his face, you are not he. Listen, Frank Lestrade, credit me with some intelligence. I have just this minute finished speaking with Mr. Holmes himself. This man you bring with you is an imposter. I would have thought you'd researched these things a tad more thoroughly. Frank, this is Sherlock Holmes.
Here are my credentials. I'm sure you'll find everything in order.
Oh, really? We'll see about that. Yes? I see. Begging your pardon, Mr. Holmes, we appear to have an imposter, but one that is not, in fact, you.
So, a missing queen and an imposter. Intriguing. And to think, a mere 3 hours ago, I was bored out of my wits. Now, let me see, was this man alone?
No, he had a companion, a woman. She claimed to be a doctor.
Poppycock!
My thoughts precisely. Watson. Joan Watson, she gave her name as.
Why, that dastardly...
Shut up, Watson. Shh, right, outside. Lestrade, you may stay here and get the details. I must...
London, what on earth is going on? Who are these people?
Your Majesty, I thought you said she was missing.
She was... I don't understand.
Where's breakfast?
Ma'am, it is 5 p.m. Breakfast, and indeed lunch, are long past.
Nonsense!
Boring! Oh, she overslept. Case closed. Now, the imposter. Watson, we're leaving. We have a case to solve.
I say, Mr. Holmes. Dr. Watson.
London, I am not amused.
Followers, what news do you have for us? Is the decoy deployed?
Affirmative, Brain. The decoy is fully operational and awaiting our instruction.
Excellent. Patch us in. Decoy, are you reading us? Is the link fully operational?
Yes, Brain.
Excellent. Are you fully aware of your orders?
Yes, Brain. I'm to replace Palace Guard with us. We will become Palace Guard, we will become the people. We will become masters. The stem will break.
The stem will break.
The stem must break.
Stem must break.
Now, Sequoia, you must announce to the people the destination process, which will begin 1 week following the takeover. Coalition-wide speech. You shall be broadcasted directly to the brains of the human British. We shall talk to their brains. The whole uncultivated brains.
Yes, Brain. Orders heard and understood.
Very good. Close wavelength. The stem must break.
Stem will break. Stem will break. Stem will...
Now, Watson, we must find this faux inspector.
Indeed. How on earth did he manage to pass himself off as the great Sherlock Holmes?
'Tis rather a requirement of my profession, Watson, that my face remain relatively unknown to the public. If every Tom, Dick and Stanley knew me by eye, it would make detection a rather difficult task.
I suppose.
Nevertheless, our culprit travelled west of here, most likely towards the grassy part of the park by the river.
And how could you possibly know that?
How do you suppose?
I beg your pardon.
You've observed my technique. How do you suppose I know their whereabouts?
I suppose if you were to spotted the cab exiting the palace as we left, you may have deduced that our culprit was on board. You may then have relayed a message via your friends around London to track down said cab and demand of the driver the culprit's location.
Amazing.
Really?
Watson, how on earth would I have had time to converse with one of the irregulars without your knowing? We have been together since I left the palace. No, that explanation, whilst highly probable, is impossible.
Well, I don't know then. Enlighten me.
Elementary. It all began in the palace. Once I was aware of the impostor's existence, I noticed 2 sets of slightly mudded footprints near the entrance to the palace before one is likely to have wiped their shoes clean. The presence of certain moss in this mud, combined with the slight moistness of the dirt, tells me that they have recently been hidden in a muddy area close to a body of water. The rare moss is unique to one part of London, shall we?
That is simply preposterous.
Pardon?
That one man should be so shamelessly intelligent.
Intelligence is not to be ashamed of. Perhaps if the criminal classes understood this, there would be less arrests and more
If
crimes.
Lestrade could hear you now.
And what makes you think I can't?
Lestrade?
Inspector!
You gents had best be moving along. The palace is no place for a couple of amateurs this time of night. Off your scoot.
Good night, Inspector.
Dr. Watson.
Inspector?
Holmes.
Ah, yes, fascinating.
Doctor, you're doing it again.
Oh, Alice, I am sorry. It's so rude of me.
It's fine. What is it?
Well, I've used the TARDIS to do a heat scan for the last 3 hours, specifically aimed at the courtyard at Buckingham Palace. See, there's us. Then look. No Frank, no Sherlock, Watson, no Lestrade. Evidently, whatever's brought these fictional characters to life has neglected to give them physical presence beyond visuals.
They're not real.
Precisely.
So they're like holograms.
I wonder... No, if they are holograms, they're not the conventional model. The light bee, the thing that buzzes around inside projecting them, would give off at least a blip of heat, but the TARDIS detects nothing. What a sausage.
What if we're in some artificial reality thing?
Well, good thought, but if this was a computer simulation, why give us heat blips and not the others? No. Something specifically created those 4 characters, and there's something else. The Queen, well, she seems to be...
Back?
Sherlock Holmes, I believe I have the pleasure of addressing.
Indeed. This is my associate.
John Watson. Wonderful to meet you, John.
That's Dr. Watson to you. And you must be Joan.
It's Alice, actually.
Yes. Been doing a little bit of espionage, have we, Doctor?
You know my name?
Not hard to deduce. There are stories of your exploits in time and space. Stories one who reads well will undoubtedly have come across. A werewolf in Torchwood House? Unforgettable.
Well, I do try.
And this, your TARDIS? I presume the exterior shell is in some way a portal to the inner room, which is held in some kind of pocket dimension. Time and, let me see, relative dimensions, yes, in...
Space.
Of course. Wonderful. Finally, a deduction to test even me. This Alice must be a genius.
Seems I've rubbed off on her.
I see.
I'm dreadfully sorry to break a fall of this quarter, you know, but, you two really are a splendid pair. It's just there's the small matter of your criminal impersonation.
Oh, poppycock, Watson. The Doctor and Alice are harmless, simple travellers, I presume, although I wonder if, like myself, the Doctor here has realised the problem with Her Majesty the Queen.
Indeed.
Miss Alice, do you...
Not a clue. Perhaps you would like to enlighten the less insane among us.
The Queen has returned.
Yes.
Or has she?
Exactly, or has she indeed?
I don't see what you...
The Queen Victoria was born in Paris and was raised solely by the Duchess of Kent, Princess Victoria of Saxe-Coburg-Saalfeld.
Well, the Duchess has little cause to remain in the United Kingdom following the death of her husband in 1820, and so therefore left the United Kingdom.
So,
therefore, the true Queen...
Despite reigning as Queen of England for such a while, would have spoken her mother tongue with a slight German lilt.
Think less we are not amused, and more of wir are nicht amused.
Precisely.
The question is...
who's behind the decoy Queen?
Ooh, if it's alien, I could do a scan and see if there's any other ships in the Earth's atmosphere.
Ships of the sky. Interesting.
If only one man could marry another.
where I come from they can.
Perfect couple, don't you think?
Quite.
John Watson.
Alice Evans.
Charmed.
See, if I'm correct, that marking on the scanner signifies the presence of an alien vessel 300 miles above London.
Fantastic! 1897, Sherlock Holmes knows about spaceships. I'm in heaven.
Well...
Might I suggest an alliance? The four of us. I presume this ship has the ability to land aboard that space vessel. Perhaps it would be wise for us to go and attempt to reason with our invaders.
Certainly, Sherlock. Plotting a course to the unknown. Off we go!
Whoa. Whoa.
Hold on to your bowler, Dr. Watson. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Mr. London?
What now, Blenkinsop? I do have a job to do this evening, you know, and I would like to be home before the 1900s.
Her Majesty is here to see you, sir.
Her Majesty? Why didn't you say? Send her in. Don't keep her waiting, fool.
Yes, sir.
Your Majesty.
Forget the formalities, Frank. I have business to discuss.
Yes, ma'am.
I've just met with Cecil to discuss the dissolution of Parliament. As of tomorrow at noon, all power of the state will belong exclusively to the sovereign.
But, ma'am...
Silence, Frank. As Supreme Empress of the United Kingdom and the Empire of Great Britain, I will have more power than any ruler in this world. In a few short years, the world will belong, completely, to me.
That's...
Devilish, I know, but then, what can I say? With great power comes great temptation. To paraphrase Spider-Man.
Spider who?
I'm not the woman I once was, Frankie. I'm not going to need you or the other guards anymore. That's why you all need to pack up your things and be on your merry little ways.
You're firing me?
Firing, laying off, booting out. Call it what you like. This palace is mine. This country is mine. And soon this world will be mine. Ours, I mean.
Ours?
Ha! Not you, you fool. The brain, and we the followers. We shall rule this earth as one. An entity of many. The stem will break, for the higher power has foretold it.
This is barbaric. You can't do this.
Oh, but I can. Now, out, before I call my new god. I think you're going to like us. Me the queen, me the god, me the brain. All one and yet unique. Very reminiscent of your Christian god. The brain thinks the human race would prefer something familiar. Out!
Might I suggest we split up into 2 groups?
Good plan, Sherlock. There's a massive power surge in Sector 7X. Alice and Dr. Watson, you go check it out. Sherlock and I will...
Cozy up.
Investigate whomever may be behind this attack.
Exactly. We'll meet back here in 1 hour. Alice, if anything goes wrong, wait. Pass me your mobile.
Okay?
There, I super magized it. Now it'll make calls from any place in time to any place in time. Just remember, if you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far. Right, the power surge is coming from down there somewhere. Sherlock and I'll go this way, try to find our evil mastermind.
Indeed.
Right, onwards!
Brain, we have detected intruders in Sector 7Y. The brain knows.
Are we to locate and destroy?
Let things come to pass. The plan is completed. The stem will break.
The stem will break! The stem will not!
Doctor, welcome. You know of the stem.
No.
But if you dastardly fellows want it broken, it's rather likely that we would not.
You cannot win. As we speak, the ruler of the British Empire is announcing a decimized population.
1/10 of the population gone?
Of course, with less human minds to fight against, the brains can claw their way into the human psyche.
I see. Why invade a planet when you can invade its inhabitants?
Exactly. You know, for a human detective, you're really not bad. If only you were all this good.
Have you met Lestrade?
Stem must break! Stem must break! Stem must break!
Forgive me, Doctor, but now may be a good time to run.
My thoughts precisely.
Run, run, as fast as you can.
Here we are, Dr. Watson. Engine room.
Please, my dear, you may call me John.
Thank you, John.
Now, Alice, you'll have to forgive me on this. I'm rather behind on all this space travel and alien stuff.
Oh, well, I'm rather new to it all myself, actually. But, well, this is an alien ship. Some evil alien that's trying to invade, destroy, or do something bad to the Earth. We need to find out why there's a power surge coming from here. Chances are it may have something to do with the bad things that are happening.
And the Doctor?
He's an alien too, but one of the good ones. He's a... what's the word? Time King, Time Emperor, something like that. He travels through time and space, fixing things, making the universe better.
So that's why he calls himself Doctor then?
Sort of. He reckons the humans actually get the word doctor from him, but I don't know.
Ah, I see. And what about his TAR? Oh, that thing.
The TARDIS. That's his time machine.
I see. Well, what do we have here then?
John, look! There's a man in there strapped down. Looks like the machine is injecting him with something.
That poor gentleman. We should rescue him, of course.
No.
No? We can't very well leave him just there now, can we?
He's wired pretty majorly. Might be best to get back to the TARDIS. Let the Doctor know he'll be able to help.
Ah, good thinking, Alice. Back up. Let's go then.
All followers withdraw from the chase. The hour is at hand. The speech is to be made. We must transmit ourselves to the Earth.
Silence for Her Majesty, the Queen!
People of London, as the capital of this, the great British Empire, I have elected to inform you this news on this fine London morning. The Parliament of Great Britain and the United Kingdom is no more. From now on, this country, its allies, and its empire will be run and controlled solely by the monarchy, which is, let me think, oh yes, me. You will from this day forth address me as Victoria's supreme ruler. The empire will soon govern the entire world, but in order to do so, I must enforce a simple sanction. The population of my domain will be decimized. 1/10 of your people will be removed. If you do not respect my orders, I will skin you. I will burn the heart from you and eat it for lunch. You are mine. Accept your fate or die traitors. Very well. I shall begin the decimalization. With you. Guards, attack!
Stand toward flank. Stand toward flank. Stand toward flank. Stand toward flank.
That was easier than I thought it would be.
Indeed.
It seems, my dear Watson, that the alien threat has deployed its entire forces to the invasion and left their ship unguarded.
Yes, I had wondered why no one has come to stop us rescuing this fellow here.
Who is he?
Judging by his monogrammed shirt collar, A.C. Doyle.
No way. Oh, that is unbelievable.
So, who is this Doyle fellow then?
Arthur Conan Doyle. Didn't he
Alice, careful. Evidently, Mr. Conan Doyle here has something to do with the alien plot. Let me see. We know that Queen Vicky is an imposter, yes? Yes.
So where's the real Victoria?
Quite. Hang on. Somewhere, I know I had a piece of her DNA, a glove, I think. Must be in the...
Is this it?
Ah, yes, perfect.
How did you get Queen Victoria's glove?
It's a long story. Now, let me see.
Fascinating. I'm to assume that your scan shows that the true Queen is in Buckingham Palace. But not, I believe, in this world.
Okay, now I'm really lost.
Sherlock is right. The Queen, the real Queen, that is right where you'd expect her to be. But, oh, of course, why didn't I see it before? It's so obvious. She's not in this dimension, because this dimension doesn't exist. It's fictional. That is Arthur Conan Doyle, one of the greatest literary minds of the 19th and 20th centuries. And if you wanted to use the human mind to take over the Earth, you can't go far wrong with Doyle. They took him, they showed him stories of aliens and spaceships, and then they hooked him up to that machine and fed him psychic pollen, broadcasting the dreams he had to the whole of England. The whole of England dreaming the same dream at once, sending a signal, but to who?
Not real.
Now, wait a minute, dear boy. Are you suggesting that I, as is to say, hold myself, aren't real?
No, not real. But then again, neither are Alice and myself, not at the moment. The moment we landed, we got pulled into this story, this dream. Arthur Conan Doyle's dream.
So there's a real version of us on the outside, part of this mass dream.
No.
I'm sorry, John. Sherlock, I really am, but...
That man, Arthur Conan Doyle, a good man, a doctor, a human, he was forced to make this nightmare world. He sent them a couple of heroes to help fight it, his subconscious. You said he was a writer, Doctor, not hard to deduce who his creations are.
We're fictional?
Quite.
Sorry to be insensitive, but...
Why are we still here?
Good point.
No, I'm not real. This world, of everything I've done is a lie. My degree in medical doctorate at Edinburgh University, fake, never existed. My life with Mr. Holmes here, fake, never existed.
Your story, Dr. Watson, is loved. Thousands of millions of people read Doyle's stories, narrated by you. Your history and your future is known to everyone. Your bravery doesn't go unnoticed. One day there are films, talking pictures, which tell stories, and the great actors of the age aspire to play the great roles of Holmes and Watson. You'll be parodied, pastiched, even modernized. You will never be forgotten. Forgive me, Doctor, but you don't need to be real to be important. You are anything but a lie.
The question remains, why are we here? You said Doyle here was injected with this psychic pollen? Perhaps the residual effects of it are yet to wear off.
Most likely, we may be running out of time. If a human dies in the dream world, that's it. Well, their body will go on living, but their mind is killed, brain dead. This pollen, I've met it before, but this is a stronger strain. I don't know how to fight it. It must be controlled by the brain. I doubt the brain's followers even know that they're not real. The brain must be some sort of dimensionally transcendental being, a being with no being. It's fascinating.
What if we were to erase the last 24 hours of Mr. Doyle's memory? He would never remember being drugged, or the dream, or any of this.
It's a good plan, however, a little impossible?
Not at all. Simple draft. I have a laboratory at 221B.
Right. Good. You and Alice go there, take Doyle, and create the draft. Watson and I will go and procure the services of Mr. London. We may need his help to stall us whilst the draft takes its effect.
Sounds like a plan.
Right.
Right.
Avengers assemble! Yes. Okay. Won't say that again, I promise. Onwards!
Another ale, please, Kevin. Don't you think you've had enough, Frank? Another. Yeah. On the house.
Mr. London.
Oh, hello, Mr. Holmes.
Dr. Watson.
Yes, I remember who you are. What are you doing with this fraud?
I'm the doctor. And we need your help.
What can I do? I'm just a useless nothing. I couldn't stop her. I couldn't do anything.
Listen to the doctor. He has something very important to tell you.
Shoot.
Frank, I know that this is hard to believe, but, well, none of this is real. This bar, the Queen, the palace, none of it. Well, not this version of it, anyway. You're in a dream world, created by an alien species. The Queen has been replaced by an alien doppelganger, and in the real world, somewhere, is a man called Frank London who needs your help to wake up and get on with his life. A real, innocent life.
Okay.
Well, I never refused, surprisingly easy
A
convinced.
few years back, I was on secondment to the Torchwood Institute in Scotland. I've seen things. Things you wouldn't believe.
Try me.
What do I have to do?
There's a man, Arthur Conan Doyle. He's under the influence of psychic pollen. It's his dream we're all stuck in. These watches, they're measuring his heart rate. We're currently giving him a draft which will stop all this. When the watches start beeping, well, that's when the aliens are going to notice something's going on. You need to stall them. After the beeping, we'll need 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. If you can go to the palace and stall the guard for 10 minutes, we might just have a chance of saving this world.
If this is a dream, why does it matter?
The psychic pollen has evolved to feed off the dead. It kills your brain in the dream, and then when your body dies, dinner time.
By Satan's beard, we must do something.
Off to the palace. This is a perception filter. Wear it around your neck and you'll get in unnoticed. When the watch beeps, do everything you can to stop the guard.
Right.
Good luck, old fellow.
Yeah. Good luck.
Sounds like I'll need it.
Memory draft. This little potion should completely remove 24 hours, or thereabout, from his memory. He's still asleep.
Like a corpse.
Perhaps a few drops of coffee in the mixture to revive him also, then. Yes, sounds reasonable. Right, memory draft. The root of a nettle carries certain properties that, when exposed to pure potassium, releases a powerful gas. If liquefied, this gas in small dosage will very successfully alter someone's recollection.
I see.
How's everything going?
Great. Mr. Holmes is nearly done.
Think you better hurry, dear boy.
Here, hold his mouth open. Drink up.
What?
He's awake.
Barely. His mind is being rewritten. Don't expect him to perform an opera, but yes, he has some minor awareness.
10 minutes. Oh, Frank, don't let us down.
Mom, we've received intelligence from the brain.
Yes, Sir Arthur has been removed from the machine. He's being hidden at 221B Baker Street. Sherlock Holmes and that doctor. Eliminate them and their friends, too.
Yes, Mom!
We cannot let them spoil our plans. The stem will break.
Not so fast. Always wanted to say that.
Frank London, I thought I fired you.
I'm like a rash. Your Majesty, alien, whatever you are, stop this madness. There's no point. You're not real. You're just creations in Sir Arthur's mind. Nothing more. The brain used you for its own selfish gain. You are fictional. We're all fictional. Every story has a hero. And a villain.
I see. How fascinating. How blind I've been. Not kill him!
What's going on here? Where am I?
No time to explain. You're in 221B Baker Street. Now, you remember your dream, yes? Everything that happened, yes? The Doctor, Watson, Alice, Sherlock, the Brain, and the Queen.
Vividly.
Here, write it down. Write a short story.
Doctor, what are you...
Watson, this is your finest hour. I will not let it go undocumented.
You are a fine man, Doctor.
You're mad. All of you.
Just write!
Now, go to 221B and eliminate the Doctor. The stem will break!
The stem will break! The stem will break!
There. It's done. However crudely written it may be.
Fantastic! Sherlock, how long now?
Seconds.
Sherlock? Watson? There's some people at the door. What the devil have you done? They look mad. They have these massive guns. Is this about this decimation? Have they come for us? Oh Lord, save me! Save me!
It's starting.
Sherlock Holmes and Dr. John Watson, it has been an honor.
The pleasure has been all mine. It's been charming to meet a fellow companion.
Nice to know I'm not the only one who deals with madness on a daily basis.
And with that, I say to you, adieu.
Last man standing. Nice knowing you, Doctor.
Wait. I just thought, if the Brain is behind this, and his followers are fictional, who put Doyle in that machine?
Elementary, my dear Doctor. The stem will break.
Are you ready for this, Alice?
Ready for what?
This. Whoa! Last night must have been pretty rough.
What happened?
The dream ended. We're back in reality. 1897, London, 4 p.m. Bingo! I didn't get it wrong.
What's that?
This is the only copy in existence of Sherlock Holmes and the Case of the Killer Queen. Talk about rare.
Wow. So, one this I don't get. Who did put Doyle in the machine?
I don't know.
Blimey. It really scared you not knowing something, doesn't it?
Scared? Me? I'm petrified. Now! Bowler hat! Let's go!
Oh, Doctor.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, we meet again.
No. You swore I would never see you again.
I lied.
33 years to the D. Why now?
Well, because you die tonight. And I wanted to be the one to ensure it.
And my crime?
The Doctor thinks the Brain was behind it. That it was real. Ha! There is so much he does not yet know. He will understand in time. The Brain, like its followers, was part of a story. A story the Doctor had no choice but to be part of. I told you, no Sherlock Holmes.
I couldn't help it. He was an... I am an author. The dream ended that way because that's how the book would end.
You said you were up for the task.
You told me the doctor was evil, that he needed to die.
You were weak. And for this, you shall pay the price. Goodbye, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The stem will